Alright guys, I'm back, and we actually apparently don't have a draft this time. It must have been a remade game. They already had their draft done, but I'm seeing one interesting pick already. That's a Necrolite pick from Virtus Pro. So we're going to see, I don't know what the bans were, obviously, that led to this, what the situation was that made this get picked. Oh, they got their Nyx Assassin again, and the Gyrocopter. That's a lot of excellent heroes that are once again being given up. Lifestealer over on Pain Gaming though this time, and when you combine that with Jakiro and Shadow Demon, that's that's actually a pretty insanely good aggressive tri-lane if they want to run it. We'll see if that's how they want to do it. But that would leave, so maybe they're doing Fury in mid, Bounty Hunter safe lane, aggressive tri-lane. Alright, let's, come on. Why is this... Oh, I see. There's a disconnect right there. Now we're just gonna cut right through here on 8x speed, get ourselves into the game. And we're going to have Santa playing the Necrolite. Offlane Necrolite coming out. That would be interesting. And there's the Go coming out from each team. Going to have Illidan back on the Gyrocopter, KSI on the Venomancer, Vampire on the Undying, and TMW going to be on the Nyx Assassin. Wow, over on the side of Pain Gaming, we're going to have Klotz playing the Lifestealer, Billy playing the Jakiro, Grent on the Shadow Demon, Pada sitting down here on the Bounty Hunter, and King Red gonna be playing that Nature's Prophet. And hey, I was right. It is gonna be a Nature's Prophet mid, and it is gonna be an aggressive tri-lane. Look, I called a fairly obvious laning situation that maybe maybe if I was a true amateur, I would have missed. I'm proud of myself right now, guys. So Pain Gaming, obviously, feeling a little bit of pressure against this Gyrocopter. They do not want to let him get that farmed up again. Don't want, a quick rape here with Life Leech and a BKB coming out, because they saw exactly what happens when they let that Gyrocopter get farmed up by VP. So, obviously, knowing that if they lose this game, they drop the series, they are quite interested in shutting him down early, getting the extra farm on the Lifestealer from the kills, and making sure that they're not just going to get melted. And we do have another pause coming out. Let's zip through that at 8x speed. There we go. They say go. So I guess we're going to have probably a... So Santa is generally either an offlaner or a jungler, so... Or maybe he's doing a solo safe lane Prophet. I'm pretty sure that this is VP just dodging the aggressive tri-lane. They saw it coming, and they don't even want to think about dealing with it. So... Oh no. No, it looks like they are going to be shifting back top. But it would have been kind of funny if they went to their long lane to try to dodge the aggressive tri-lane, but a switch would have come in fast enough, and it would have just given the Lifestealer... The kill potential of the Lifestealer lane, if they were in their own safe lane, laning against a tri-lane, would be ridiculous, because Gyro would just be so overextended. Oh, are they going to come across Grant and Billy right here? They are. They don't... Do they want to engage? I mean, they got to be a little afraid the Lifestealer's winning the wings, but no, they see him in the lane. So yeah... No one's actually going to get close enough to land a stun. KSI was not in range for that. But, that was a reasonably solid, What am I talking about, reasonably solid? Nothing even happened. I'm just rambling. I apologize. And there's another pause. It was, if KSI had been leading the way, they might have been able to get something right there. But... At the same time, if he leads the way and gets caught out, it can be hugely dangerous. Looks like we do have a Disruption. That's the power of this lane. Disruption right into Ice Path. Open Wound still going to come out, and Gyrocopter going to be the first blood. But there's the return still coming out from Venomancer. Undying wants just beat him. Are they just going to give a second kill? Oh, they didn't catch the Venomancer with that Ice Path. Billy missing just by an inch. He does, of course, stop the Undying from just pumping damage out into Klotz, but if he had caught KSI in that Ice Path, probably would have been 2 kills instead for the Lifestealer. And Lifestealer just coming into lane, getting 2 kills, is a pretty significant boost to his early start. Although, he is already level 2, so he's got Feast, he's got Open Wounds. They're just going to be looking for kill after kill after kill if they can get him up here. Now, Billy, just run down and place a ward real quick. So down here, actually, interesting matchup coming out here. Necrolite versus Bounty Hunter, solo side lane. So... what's going to be an advantage right here for Santa is that not only does he have the harassment coming out from the nuke, but it's going to heal him. So if there's any sort of Janata harass or Shadow Walk harass, or Shadow Walk harass coming out from Pada, he's pretty much able to negate it by virtue of the fact that, oh, he's going Heartstopper. Okay, he's not going Sadist. That's... weird to me, simply because you want that mana regen. Oh, Venom going to pick up a kill up here on the Shadow Demon. Gyro trying to get away. Oh, stun misses everyone, just barely splits the difference between the Venomancer and the Undying. Looks like a missile is going to come out and hit Klotz. Does he have a rage? He does not, so he's going to get stunned out again. Gyrocopter now with another kill. Lifestealer going to pick off Venomancer, but he's in a terrible situation. I don't think he's getting his way out of that one. He gets picked off by a Decay from Undying. And that was not... That's not how you want your aggressive tri-lane to go. You already had an advantage up here. I wonder, was it just a really good play that came out from VP? I'm sorry I missed that, guys. I mean, and again, even though it's a replay, I could rewind. I hate the concept of doing that because, I mean, not only does it artificially mess with VOD timers, but there's going to be people who are like, man, I really want to see that again. And there's going to be people who are like, man, I don't want you to play the same portion of the game over and over. But just, I have to wonder if VP was just capitalizing on bad positioning, or if they just managed to find a really great opening with the Venomancer slow. Maybe Pain just overplayed. They thought they had a little more than they did. They had, you know, a minor advantage in this lane, but that should really be erased right now. Although Gyro not willing to go in and farm at all, only with 5 last hits against Lifestealer's 8. And the denies coming out from Lifestealer. 5 denies already. Shadow Demon. Grent, you're such a troll. Yeah, okay, he's picking up saves. He just wanted the 1 point in Heartstopper aura, because 1 point in that is fantastic. He doesn't really care to level it or scale it up. But basically, the combination of the Sadist hit point regen and the heal from Death Pulse that Santa's going to be using down here, well, not only the Death Pulse bomb will be harassing Pata, but will be preventing any sort of Janata harass or Shadow Walk harass from taking its toll on Santa. And you can see, not only, I mean, he's going the Shuriken Toss build, which of course can mean several different things, but I have to think that part of his decision in going for a max Shuriken Toss build is because he realizes he's not going to outlane Santa with just harassment damage. It can't be done against a Necrolite. You either burst him down or nothing, and it's the same in team fights. If you don't burst the Necrolite down, he doesn't die, and neither does his team. You have to get rid of him early. And, you know, it's a little... There's some okay burst damage coming out from Pain Gaming, but mostly it's going to be that they're going to need to get the Soul Catcher out onto that Necrolite, and they're going to need to pop him really, really early with the Bounty Hunter initiation and the Shuriken and the Jakiro damage. Because, again, if he lives through the initial set of disables that get chained onto him, he heals up and everyone around him dies, and his team is healed. Lifestealer already picking up an early Orb of Venom. Wants to be nice and aggressive. Slow, just barely missing that Shadow Demon. The missile is coming out. Klotz taking a lot of damage from that Rocket Barrage. Forced to pop his Rage to avoid it. Nice stun, catches all 3. Dual Breath as well going to catch them, but they're still in the retreat. Shadow Demon can't really take very much, and they don't want to fight near the Tombstone up here. Otherwise, they'll just get melted. Klotz already taken a whole lot of damage on that Lifestealer. And this, I mean, wow, VP has really managed to turn around. I mean, not to say they don't have an amazing tri-lane. It's got Undying in it. It's one of the best tri versus tri. He is the best tri versus tri hero in the game, in my humble, amateur caster opinion. But just the decay spam is so frustrating. Pata getting really messed up down here. Wonder if Necrolite's just going to come in and scythe him if he can see him. But it's just they had this nice opening, and I think they thought they had a little more of an advantage than they did, and you can't overplay against Undying. Just because you go in, and as soon as you're in and you can get caught by that Venomancer slow, you're just going to get decay spammed and decay spammed and decay spammed until suddenly your Lifestealer deals no damage, he has no hit points, and both your supports are like under 400 hit points. That happens. Even on a tanky support like Jakiro, you'll be down to, 550, maybe 500 hit points if that decay spam just keeps coming out. I haven't really talked about this mid lane at all. It looks like Nyx is getting very slightly the better of it. 30-6 against a 28-5 Furion. Which, how is the Nyx skilling? Okay, standard. But you'd think Furion would be able to harass him at least a little bit, just because he has the extra treants to do it. But that's a lot of quick damage that can come out against King Red. And yeah, TMW just saying, I have a regen rune, I may as well just burn all of my mana harassing. Item going to be coming out to the Undying. Looks like it's just some sentry wards. Which is a little weird. I guess they want to be countering some sort of warding that maybe might be going on over here, countering sentry wards. But all in all, kind of maybe they're worried about the Bounty Hunter possibly coming out. And they don't want to get Bounty Hunter ganked because they know how badly they... especially now that Bounty Hunter is past level 6, they know how badly Pain Gaming wants to get kills up there. Shadow Demon is going to be rotating bottom right now. And Pod is sort of manning up a little bit. Here comes Grant coming in. Where's the disruption? Is he going to get it off or anything? He's not going to... There goes the disruption. Letting Bounty Hunter get back in for Soul Catcher, Ice Path. That should be a very dead Santa. But there comes Nyx with the return kill. Going to quick pick off on the Bounty Hunters. They do get a track kill, I believe. And there's... Oh, the block! Grant blocks his own hero. King Red coming in to try and pick off TMW, who's playing really super aggressive here. He's going to get Grant as well. No, he gets sprouted in. He doesn't have a hatchet to get his way out. Excellent sprout timing coming out from King Red to make sure that they picked off that Nyx Assassin, who still did a lot of work considering what happened right there. But Virtus Pro just taking this opportunity to immediately come in and push this top lane. They say 2 support heroes are out of the lane. We're taking a free tower. Pada, is he going to try and get the deny? No, he's just... Oh, they drop a sentry ward. If he was a little bit closer, he might have been in trouble right there. If he had gotten the Venomancer slow on him, that could have been just an easy kill. But that's... How are we coming out after this? Dead even on experience, and a little bit in favor of Pain Gaming for gold. That's not what I would have expected, what with the tower kill going the way of VP. But I guess the little bit of track gold that they got on Santa went to 3 heroes. I mean, and that's exactly what they need to do. Exploit the Bounty Hunter track to get themselves a gold advantage. And they really should be trying to do it on the Gyrocopter, though. They don't want to feel the same power of the Divine Gyro that they did last time. But I feel like they have... probably simply because of the Furion Sprout and the fact that he can just, you know, sit Gyro in there and everyone can kind of back off a little bit. Still, though, it's still dangerous to be engaging into a Divine Gyro. I'm just trying to think if Gyro would go Divine in this situation. I think it's mostly... He mostly won it last game because it's so incredibly good against Phantom Lancer, but I really hope it becomes just a standard build. Looks like Grant is going to be initiated onto, take a whole lot of damage, uses a defense disruption on himself, does get the Purge off onto TMW, and Klotz is putting out a lot of damage, but it looks like he is going to be in trouble next. Decay may be coming out to... He's got the zombie slowing him down. Tombstone is not going to spawn anything more. No one is in range. And here comes Bounty Hunter and Jakiro. There's not a lot of trees for them to hide behind, though. If they get past like this point right here, they're in vision. Open Rage comes out once again. Oh, KSI. Oh, no, Bounty Hunter is invisible. He didn't get spotted. KSI coming in, showing himself, though. The Bounty Hunter definitely knows he's there. And, of course, dropping down wards, they definitely know he's there. And there, oh, here comes the dive. The Infest is going to come out. Quick stun, going to catch Santa. Not going to catch anyone else. KSI going to drop very, very quickly. Nice track kill coming out. King Red trying to catch Santa, but not quite getting him. And TMW going to be the next target as Santa starts to port out, but then cancels it. So he comes just right back in. Still has decent health and mana. I don't know why he started that port out in the first place. Pada now taking... Oh, Pada and King Red caught right through that ice path in the call down. Nice stun chain coming out between the Nyx. And oh, Grant just gets murdered by a Nyx assassin. Assassinated, one might say, if that wasn't someone else's ability. Riddle me this. Why does a guy whose name doesn't include assassin have the ability to assassinate? Food for thought. And VP going to use that momentum from the teamfight win to just start taking another tower. And this... Have we seen Shift now? Yeah, over 1,000 XP and about 1,000 gold. It's not... Oh, well, you should probably see that after... Yeah, 1,000 gold after the tower kill comes out. So, still not an insurmountable advantage by any means. But when you had... Your aggressive tri-lane is now... I mean, your lifesteal is farming about even in terms of creep score. But if we look at net worth, the lifestealer is about 1,000 gold behind the Gyrocopter right now. And you had your aggressive tri-lane. You wanted to shut down that Gyrocopter, and it didn't really happen. You got an opening kill on him, and then kind of just threw the lane away by getting a couple deaths that you didn't need to take. And, alright, nice combo going to be coming out onto Santa, try and slow him down enough, keep him in range with the call-down damage, along with the flat cannon, the rocket barrage, just doesn't even matter. Gyrocopter just turns around and absolutely destroys a pair of heroes. I mean, between the Venomancer slow, the call-down, and just rocket barrage, and he's maxed out flat cannon again, so he is going for a similar build as last game. Just they couldn't bring Santa down fast enough because what a surprise. Oh, King Red. Oh, did Nyx see him? No, it looks like he just barely got out in time. I wanted to see. Oh, they did end up killing Santa. I guess. Oh, of course. That's why Furion was there. King Red comes in and picks him off. Yeah, he's Necrolite going for a reasonably quick mech. He's got the buckler and the headdress ready to go. which is a pretty big deal. I mean, and that means he's about 700 gold away from a mech at 12 minutes. Mech on Necrolite is pretty darn huge, because it's not only does it gives you the extra stats, it gives you the extra armor, the extra burst heal on top of your already good Death Pulse healing means that you are already absurdly hard to kill in team fights, because when he gets it this early and he has all that just raw HP healing that he can do, he's super, super hard to bring down. You can't lock him down enough and burst him down enough to prevent him from getting off all of his heals. So it becomes incredibly difficult to kill not just him, but of course his team, because everything is AoE. And that's the beauty of Necrolite, is just how much team healing he provides. Tombstone going to be dropped in this mid lane as Santa just nuking down creeps with that Death Pulse to try and get something done. Get this middle tower, cement an advantage, and get a little more map control for VP over here. Looks like we do have a Lifestealer infested into the Bounty Hunter. They obviously got to be thinking about going in with that. But, oh, Billy taking a lot of quick damage coming out from the Nyx as he gets stunned, disrupted defensively. Nice Ice Path, catches 3 heroes. That could be a huge turnaround, but there comes the Nyx. The Venomancer does get off his ultimate, so lots of damage going to be taken down for there. Klotz taking a whole lot of damage, and there comes Gyrocopter to clean it up. He just comes in, casual auto attack, pick him off. Lifestealer going to buy right back into the game. Looks like he's going to buy back and then immediately go in on 4 heroes, and that rage is going to wear off. Is Nyx going to get a stun off? There's the homing missile chasing it in. No, Nyx's not going to chase quite that far. Not interested in throwing his life away, because his friends couldn't chase him with that. They still can just take this tower and get, a free tower off this. There's the Ice Path. Going to catch 2 once again. Santa and TMW going to... And then call down return to try and chase Klotz away. The Dual Breath puts some damage out onto Virtus Pro's team, but not enough to really make them afraid to engage. A couple stacks of Shadow Poison Illusions are going to chase Gyrocopter away, but, I mean, again, that's another good win for VP. Lots of damage coming out from that Nature's Prophet ultimate right there. Looks like Nick's going to get a little over-aggressive right here. He's got the Spiked Carapace. That doesn't do anything against someone who's magic immune, but he's Soul Rift going to keep him nice and healed up. Quick Burst coming out from the Infest to try and get something done. There's the Tombstone, though. Ice Path doesn't catch anybody. Tombstone slow going to get a lot of nice slowing done right there. Tons of zombies chasing people down. They're still chasing. The homing missile is going out after the Lifestealer. He's going to pop off his rage to avoid it. Disruption going to catch the Nyx very quickly, and Gyro has to be careful here. He's really low on hit points. Surprised they didn't try to quick catch him with some burst damage before they ran away. Then again, they don't want to risk losing their Lifestealer. They're already kind of behind, and they know what giving up ground to this Gyrocopter can mean. And also, again, VP has a very mid-game oriented lineup. Pain does as well, but I feel that with the lack of trading a Phantom Lancer for a Lifestealer, just if we're talking about a carry comparison, Phantom Lancer is more of an effective late-game carry than a Lifestealer. And while the Gyro really obviously functions very well against a... Excuse me. Well, it looks like there's an engagement happening here onto the Gyrocopter. Pata is going to go down playing that Bounty Hunter. Nice stun going to come out on Santa after Klotz picks off the Gyrocopter just to make sure that he doesn't get chased down. Gyro going to buy right back in. And he's gonna port in and try to get in. He's got good move speed coming out with the drum and the phase boost. There's a lot going on here. Necrolife picking off a couple of kills, lots and lots of AoE damage. Of course, Heartstopper Aurora also a constant fear during team fights. And it looks like Billy is probably gonna go down as well. How about the cooldown sitting here on TMW? Yeah, he's just gonna pop him off with auto attacks. Don't even need to worry about that stun cooling down. And that's another big loss for VP. For Pain Gaming. They got the Gyro and they forced a buyback. That's significant. But if you get a Gyro and force a buyback and then lose 4 heroes and a tower, that's really not the same as forcing a buyback from a Gyro who's already winning the farm war against your Lifestealer. Although Furion's sitting at by far the most net worth with by far the most last as well. Open Wound Slow going to come out on TMW. Again, the Rage just blocking that Spiked Carapace stun. The cooldown being used, not really catching anybody, so that's at least 60 seconds where they don't have to worry about that. But they're not particularly interested in Pain Gaming not particularly interested in pushing out into Virtus Pro, and Virtus Pro saying, well, we use the call down, we don't really need to worry too much about this. Now Pain Gaming doesn't have the uphill advantage. I don't really know if this is a particularly wise engagement. Klotz looks like he wants to man up a little more than his team does. Pops an Infest to get some good damage on TMW, but Jakiro's going to go down before he gets a lot of spells off. Nick's also going to pick off the Shadow Demon. And that's a lot of, those are 2 deaths that Pain didn't need to give away and really can't afford to give away. This is already a game that's kind of slipping out of their grasp. They need to stop they need to stop manning up. Oh, quick Shuriken kill on the KSI. Shuriken that does so much damage at, pretty decent range. 325 damage on a 10-second cooldown at good range. But XP over 4,000, gold over 4,000. Again, certainly not insurmountable leads, but Pain Gaming shouldn't be giving VP anything right now. They should be trying to play... I mean, you need to look for pickoffs, but looking for pickoffs doesn't mean you chase their team out of your base when you already know you can't take team fights. Those are two very different things right there. King Red just farming up the Ancients now with his Treants. Farming up the enemy Ancients, of course. And VP might be looking for Roshan. Kind of forming up around the pit, people moving in this direction. There is vision here from Pain Gaming, so if they could win a fight at the Roshan pit and maybe take a Roshan kill, that would actually be a really nice way for them to get back into this game. Oh, Lifesteal looks like he might be in trouble. Lots of damage coming out from the Nyx Assassin. He's going to pop the Rage and try to get some healing done. But look at the damage that was coming out on the Nyx. He very nearly went down. But the extra help, the damage amp coming out from that Plague Golem, let them pick off the Lifestealer, who shouldn't have buyback, I don't believe. Where is he? Lifestealer? No. It's on cooldown, but only for another 10 seconds. He does have the gold for it. So if they do try to push in the base, he probably won't buy back just to remove 10 seconds from his... oh, Dire Courier goes down. And that didn't have anything on it, but, you know, that's a gold boost that Pain Gaming really desperately needed. So if they can manage to hold off this... they need to hold this tower in this Rax, obviously. But that's a hard thing. That's a pretty hard thing to say. You have to do this. You can't lose this right now against the advantage and the team that Virtus Pro has. They have an excellent mid-game team. There goes the mech to just heal everyone back up after a lot of damage put out. The Tombstone coming out. Clot's going to rage off that Venomancer slow. He doesn't want to deal with it. Nyx looks like he got caught out. That was a little dangerous, although Clot's taking so much damage. He's always taking down. He's got the urn on him. He's going to infest into King Red to avoid a lot of that damage. Make sure he can't quite go down. Bounty Hunter does deny the bot tower. But, I mean, that's still a tower down. And VP, they probably could have pushed that, but they don't want to. They don't want to be dangerous about it. They're just going to play it safe. They know their Nyx is down. He's a lot of their really good stuns. And even though they have still a lot of teamfight power coming out, excuse me, from the Gyrocopter and the Necrolite especially, they don't want to push anything. They don't want to throw a game away. They can play very safe, slow Dota. But King Red, obviously, he's trying to make something happen for his team, get the split pushing going on, do everything he can. But, oh, man, because if the Gyrocopter is able to just TP to your lane and get a bunch of... I mean, if you have trees there as well as Furion, Gyrocopter can just mow them down and get himself a bunch of extra gold on top of what you've already pushed into him. So it's very hard to split push against a Gyrocopter if his team... If there isn't pressure elsewhere, like he needs to be somewhere else, and he needs to worry about keeping his TP available in case there's a gank or in case there's a push in another lane, he can just port in, farm that lane, and not care. If there was some pressure elsewhere, if they had to worry about maybe a roving, if the Bounty Hunter was more threatening, if they had a lot more roaming going on from the Jakiro, the Shadow Demon, the Bounty Hunter, or maybe if the PL was their carry again and he was pushing one lane and Furion was pushing another one, then they'd be able to, you know, push more aggressively, and the Gyro would have to worry about keeping his TP off cooldown, lest things just die if he wasn't able to board to them. Oh, King Red might be in trouble here. Nyx Assassin sees him. He's gonna... Oh, he's waiting. He doesn't want to show... Right. He doesn't want to show yet what's going on, but... There we go. There's the initiation. Stun, Mana Burn. Oh, does he have a Dagon? He does have... Oh, he has a Dagon too, actually. So, yeah, he didn't even need to wait for Gyrocopter right there. I understand he was playing it safe, but... was not necessary. It looks like that's an odd contingent of heroes to be engaging Roshan. But who's got the medallion? Looks like Undying has the medallion. Interesting pickup. But obviously nice for taking out Roshan nice and quick. Gyrocopter now here. That's going to be a lot of damage out. The counter warding has already been done. So even if Pain Gaming knows they're here, though, they don't really want to engage without the Furion. They don't have the kind of... Aside from the Jakiro, who is not really in position to get there, they don't have the kind of ridiculous AoE that just auto-wins you a Roche Pit fight, like a Black Hole, or like a Kunkka Boat, or something like that. A Kunkka Torrent, or any sort of really big AoE stun. And with the Jakiro not in position to get there, there's nothing they could have done about it. But... that just puts Pain Gaming at an even bigger disadvantage. It's now... Oh, the XP, they've actually swung it back up. 2,500 XP advantage only for Virtus Pro. And they've swung the gold difference back up as well. So they've actually managed to get... Not that I really understand how they've done that. It must be mostly... I have to imagine it's mostly the Furion. Like, yeah, see, because he's tied with or out-leveling 3 people over on VP, and then you have to go, you drop like a level or 2 down before you get to the other farming sort of heroes, farming and leveling heroes that are on Pain Gaming. So the Fury managing to kind of single-handedly keeping them in the game in terms of the overall amount of team gold. But alright, there's a macro fire burn just to try and slow down this push, but the Nyx spiked Carapace got stun, gonna catch him right there. Quick stun to finish off the Jakiros. That's a lot of AoE damage. It's not gonna be going in. Klotz is gonna rage and go in and try to take out the tombstone as quickly as possible. They burn the scythe for just a stun, which is pretty significant to just make sure that Klotz couldn't finish off that tombstone, couldn't get the most use out of his rage. I mean, Lifesteal is a hero, he has to get a whole lot done within the span of that rage, and then he has to be really careful afterwards, because as soon as he gets stunned or kited, and his damage starts to fall off, I mean, his survivability is, can he keep hitting someone? That's a lot of it, and so that's a bot Rax they get. They trade for a top tower, but I'm not really sure that was worth it. Maybe the Furion should have been in there, but then I don't know what he really would have done. I mean, it's not like he's built for a whole lot of damage. He swings for 133. It's not significant enough that he would have turned that fight or anything. So maybe trading that tower for the Rax was the best thing they could have hoped for, but that's not really what you want to see. I mean, the gyro with the Aegis makes it even harder to decide what's the right thing to do there, because if you go in there and that Furion's not there, he's like, say the Furion's in the team fight and he dies, then they know there's no split push threat, and they just keep pushing. They probably could have taken mid lane as well. Virtus Pro could have. I should really stop using they, and instead try and be much more specific with team names. But it's kind of a hard habit to break when I'm... Oh, Klotz going in with the rage. He's going to go right onto KSI. He's going to get soul ripped up, taking a lot more time than he needed to kill him. BKB is going to be popped by Gyrocopter. Infest going to be used to try and get Klotz a little more health back. The Purge and Soul Catcher going off. Klotz just managing to tank through a whole lot of damage, but in the back, Gyrocopter is picking off Shadow Demon. Nyx Assassin picks off Jakiro. Klotz just has to rage and TP out. Looks like TMW trying to catch up to some other heroes, but not quite getting it. Shadow Demon does go down in the end. Looks like maybe the track run speed going to get them away. Oh, do they have a gem? They have a gem? I guess, yeah, Nyx Assassin with a gem. I think I've seen that before, and I vaguely remembered he had it, but I couldn't remember who it was on. Bounty Hunter thinking he was safe, but not quite realizing that he was indeed still in the danger zone, just like Lana. So VP going to just take this advantage and push an extra tower off of it. The Furion split push isn't really going to worry them. It's still a good ways away from threatening any tower. And they have plenty of time if they need to port back, although Gyrocopter doesn't have a port. So the guy who can most easily clean up Furion split push doesn't have a port, so I have to wonder if they're just going to decide to just go here or what. Ice Path uses trying to delay the push a little bit, but Santa's still getting the final hit. Rage going to come out from Klotz, trying to get something done, maybe onto this Gyrocopter. Tombstone is going to go down. Ice Path catches 3. Very nice little trick right there, but the pipe is out for Virtus Pro as well. That's going to be an Undying, picks off Jakiro and Shadow Demon both. That should be a dead tower and a dead Rax, and probably a GG when your 2 Raxes down like this. I can't see how they're going to actually manage to save this tower. And once the tower's dead, I can't see a way for them to save the Rax, because there's still going to be a good 10-15 seconds before there's even a 4v5 for Pain Gaming to fight right here. So Virtus Pro has been playing really excellently. Really clean, effective Gyrocopter play, excellent call-down hits, and, you know, a build that's a little different from what we're used to. We're used to at least seeing... We see flat cannon first builds happen, but they're not usually followed by stats, I don't feel. And this, I think, is just going to be standard now for Virtus Pro. They've seen that it works. Oh, so much burst coming out on a King Red, and boom! Reaper Scythe. Santa says, that is my kill. You can't have it, TMW. And look at all of the mana regen. He was regenning 133 mana per second while that Sadist was running. Gosh, that's impressive. Man. I love that hero. He's a really cool hero, and I think that people really liked him, and they played him mid a lot just after he got buffed and Sadist got buffed. In pubs. I'm not talking about competitive play, but he's kind of fallen off a little bit, and it's nice to see Virtus Pro showing us that, hey, this hero could actually be, you know, a niche pick. He could be viable in the right situation. And they said, all right, the lanes are working out. Obviously, I didn't see the draft. I'd assume he was last picked, and they said, okay, the lanes have worked out in such a way that we can run a Necrolite, he'll be effective and able to win his lane, and then he'll be able to just give us this huge mid-game advantage. Because I've been talking about the gyrocopter and how much the call-down nuke has been hurting, and of course the Nyx has been getting a lot of work done too. Nothing against him, but just having a Necrolite in a fight and having him keeping that heal spam going is incredibly powerful in the mid-game. And this kind of 5-man strategy is exactly the kind of lineup you want to have a Necrolite on. That Macropire is going to go out, but it's mostly just going to burn off some pipe, and Jakiro just going to die, stunned and bursted down instantly by the Dagon 4 Nyx. Pretty strong. Claw's going to rage in, try and take out the Tombstone. He does get it down at least, so they're not going to have to worry about that, but enough slow was coming out that he couldn't really do anything about it. Lifesteal are going to buy right back into the game. They need to... I mean, if they want to win this game, obviously they need to stop this top Rax from going down, but with their Jakiro down, with the Lifestealer really unable to execute a whole lot of stuff, TMW looks like he might go down, pops off the Spiked Carapace very quickly, gets some health coming back from the Necrolite heals, and then Kloss just has to back up as his Rage runs out. King Red trying to get something done. Grent goes down on the Shadow Demon. Nyx assassin picks him off. Knight's Urn going to come out to make sure he doesn't just die. Looks like I heard a stun go off. Looks like Billy just barely catches TMW. Tries to get him with the dual breath, but he gets just barely out of the way. Pata gonna be next. They have the gem. Maybe is he gonna tick down? He is gonna. Oh, he's gonna tick down to the Heartstopper. Nyx actually goes down to the Nature's Prophet. So did they loot? Did he pick up the gem? Oh, the gem I guess was already lost, and I didn't notice earlier. But that's another Rax. That's call down. Going to be slowing down the Jakiro. The Ice Path is going to come out to prevent him from dying. But in the meantime, KSI is pushing the last Rax, and when that goes down, that's good game. Mega creeps up for Virtus Pro, a very decisive game 2 to take this series 2-0 over Pain Gaming. And Pain made some mistakes in each game, but they made some mistakes that are not really that abnormal to make, you know, that level of mistake. I think VP just managed to capitalize a lot better, and they really executed pretty flawlessly in their mid-game. They had a strategy in both games. It was pretty much, okay, we're going to win our lanes. We're going to... Venomancer going to go down right there. We're going to win our lanes, and we're going to catapult that into a mid-game advantage and just win in the mid-game. We're not going to let it go late. I mean, they could take it late. They have the Gyrocopter, obviously, but they're not gonna even worry about it. They're just gonna worry about getting a massive mid-game advantage, play 5-man Dota. GG's called by Pain Gaming, and that's today's series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been Hippie. Check out the next live stream. Will be Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And you can always check out my VODs on YouTube at youtube.com/medicalhippie. And please tell your friends. I mean, let people know if you think these casts are worth listening to. I think they're worth doing. I'm having a blast doing it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And please let people know. Tell people to tune into the live stream. Tell people to check out YouTube. And there goes the Ancient. Good game. So, I will see you all Friday then. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it every time. Take care.